Alright, this is the Tic Tac 2 game, and let's see what the source code is all about. Here I have declared the sound player, which is the working with the music in the app, and in order to do so I will need to import AV Foundation, and this is the label for the player 1 and player 2. In this case I use image view rather than using the button. For multiplayer switch, this case meaning that if the user would like to play in a single player mode or a multiplayer mode. This is working with the image of the user 1 and user 2, and the grid button here is all of the 9 buttons on the grid, and P1 score label, which is this label here for the player 1 label and player 2 label. And the winner label indicate that if the user 1 or user 2 is the winner. And this image will set to the cross and north when the user play on this grid. And by default I will set the current player to 1, and for history text view, the user will be able to see the history in this small area so that they can keep track of who actually won how many times. The current score I will be set to 0 by default, and this is the start function. When the user start to play, they will set the grid all to 0, and they will check for these 9 buttons. By default I will set to nil, meaning that there is no image whether it is cross or north. Also I will set the current player to 1, and here is the button X and button O. For this function, if the user would like to choose their own symbol, they can do so by clicking on whether this one or this one. They will be able to choose their preferred symbol to play the game. And this is the cell index. This function work with the 9 button here. If I don't do so, I will need to create 9 separate functions, and this is take a lot of time and space. So in this case I just drag and drop the 9 button to the single function so that I can work with it at once. And this is the raw index, and to know if it is a raw index or not, I will divide it by 3, and to know the column index, I will modulus by 3. So the grid, first of all, if it is not 0, and then return, and I will need to know if the current player is current player 1 or player 2. If the user click on this north symbol, the current player will be 2, otherwise by default the current player is 1. If the current player 1, I will set it to the image 1 as declared above. It is the cross symbol, and this is image 2 for player 2. The symbol is north. And I will also check who will be the winner, and then here I got a switch. So before jumping into this area, I will need to go to the function Winloss so that you can see how it works. So I have here the 8 if statement to check who will be the winner. Basically the grid is starting from here. The cell is 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 1, and so on until the grid here is 2 and 2. So I first check that the grid from the row and column 0, which is this cell here. If it is not 0, and then I will continue to check the grid is now 0 equal to 0, 1, meaning this button and this button to check if they are equal or next to each other. And then also if it is so, I will also check the 0, 1 and 2 if they are in this row. And if so, I will return that whether who will be the winner, and it will return either player 1 or player 2. And I keep doing so for this row, this column, this column, and let's see the last two if statement. For this one, 0 and 2, which is this one here, and I will check with the 1 and 1, this one, and this is work with this line. And for the last statement, here is this one. So now let's go back to the win-loss, and now we can see that who will be the winner, and I will set it to the variable winner. I will also use switch to know if the case is 0, meaning that if the current player is 1, and then it will return to the current player is 2, or otherwise if the current player is 2, here I will get the current player is 1. For the case 1, if in this case player 1, it will winner label here, it will say that the player 1 is the winner on top of here. I will also make an alert message saying that the player 1 has already won the game. For the P1 score, I will keep incrementing it one by one, and if the next round player 1 is also the winner, it adds up to the score is 2, and so on. And for the P1 score label, and the current player here will also show on this one saying that the player 1's result is 1, 2, 3, and so on. And the same logic apply to the player 2 here. For this one, this is the syntax for multiplayer switch, and in this case I use the AI mode to check if the game right now is in the multiplayer mode or not. And if the current player mode is full, meaning that the user will place against the computer, it's not in the multiplayer mode. And let's see what it's all about. For cell index, this is the function where to play, and I will show you the source code of this one first. So there's 4 parameters, and by default I will set the index to, and this is by default. There is no winner at all, and I will check the row and column starting from 0 to 2, 0 to 2, and it will go to all of these row index and column index. First, I will check that if the grid is equal to 0, meaning that there is no winner, and I will check if the grid is equal to 2, it means that the current player 2 is the winner, and if so, it will return that the index for this 9 button and row, column, and the flag is true, mean that the player 2 is the winner. Or otherwise, I will set to 1 and saying that the player 2 did not win the match, so it will return it as false. And this is the index, row, and column set to empty. Also, the index is keep incrementing, and let's see this one, the alert winner. This is function who will be the winner. This can be shown here, the alert winner. And now let's go to the BTN reset, which is while the user is playing, then they want to reset the game while they are playing, while the game is not finished. They can do so by clicking on this reset button, and the game will start again with all of the blank button, with the empty button, and start the game. And for the play button, when the user click on this button, they would be able to listen to the music while playing the game. Or they can also press on the pause button to pause the music, and then they can press on this button again so that they can continue the music where they pause, or they can stop the music completely by clicking or pressing on this button. For this code, the image picker.delegate equals save. This works with these 2 images for the player 1 and player 2. So the image is predefined. The user did not need to click on this image or any button to load the image from the photo library or some things, they can use the self, meaning that it is already predefined. When I use the image view, I will also need to add another two classes as seen here. This bit right here, I will also work with the music. In this case, the file type is MP3, which the game that I have right here has only this music file name, and I will also check if the file is available or not. Alright, this is the Tic Tac 2 game running on real device. Besides using or compile it on the simulator, I run it on this real device so that you can see how the application really works. So first of all, as you can see, if I want to play the game, I can just press on any of the button here. As you can see, this is how I play it. And when the second row is matched with the 3 symbol, it will be alert that the player has won the game. And then I press OK, and on top of here you can see as well that the player 1 is the winner, and all the buttons will automatically reset to empty. And if I would like to choose a north symbol as my symbol, I can do so by pressing on this one before starting the game, and then moving to this board right here, I can press 1. In this case I haven't pressed it yet, and I can press it here, and then when I play, the north symbol appears first, meaning that I am currently the player 2. And then I keep playing. You can see, yep, the player 2 won the game. Okay, and it will automatically reset. And right here you can see that the game history also record all of the history. At the moment, there was a player 1 result is 1, player 2 result is 1. And now let's start again. And for example, I haven't finished the game, but I know that there is no winner or there is no loser. So I want to start a game right in the middle of the gameplay. So I can press on the reset button. And here I can play it again. Player 1 has won the game. And the game history, it will update the result to 2, and also this one as well. And player 1 is the winner. And then right now I would like to play against the phone or the computer. I can turn multiplayer off, and now let's see what happens. I press 1, and then as you can see, the north appear automatically, meaning that I play in a single mode. You can see this. Alright, winner, player 1 won the game. And one more thing is that I want to listen to the music while I play the game, so I can press on this play button. And while I'm playing, I would like to pause the music. I press on this button. And then when I want to listen to it back, I don't need to start the music again. I can just press on this button. It resume the music. Or I want to stop it completely, I press the stop button. And this is all the functionality of the app. And it's relatively simple, but it's fun playing the game while listening to the music.